God. Say, what's up, everybody? And that was a good way to start the show. All right, so welcome to the show. We got a good show lined up for you guys. We're actually really excited for this one. A lot has happened since last week, since last Tuesday. We were bitching and moaning about the Supreme Court decision. And
we'll all be still bitching and moaning about that.
I know. That's going to be a topic of conversation for a very long time. But since then, a lot has happened. Some Epstein files have been released. And
that's weird. Wait, is Joe Biden's name in there?
Not once. And there's no pictures of Joe Biden with Jeffrey Epstein in existence ever. But there's a lot with Donald Trump. So we're going to talk about that. Democrats are coming out firing on the exposure of Project 2025. If you guys look back at our first show, we've been talking about Project 2025 since October. But finally, it's getting the exposure it needs. But now, since everybody's realizing what's really happening, like this could be the wake-up call America needed to because the left is just, we're not united whatsoever. We still are bitching and moaning about little tiny things and not seeing the big picture. But I think this might be the rally cry we needed. So I think they inadvertently celebrated it a little too soon. Like they forgot they were supposed to win the election first.
You know, it's funny because Trump's history of politics has always been a comedy of errors that he's pulled the wool off of everyone's eyes way too soon. He reveals himself in everything he says and does, and now it's just like, no, you're not supposed to tell us your secret agenda. You're not supposed to publish it. What are you doing? He doesn't.
That's what I don't understand is they just put it out on the internet for anybody to find. You know what I mean? If they were smart, imagine if they were smart and did this and stayed in the shadows and did this shit behind the scenes, it would be a very different story. They probably could have enacted all of this stuff.
Maybe that's their plan. They're going to be like, no, none of this is nefarious because we're telling you what we're doing.
Yeah, what you're telling us is you're going to turn us into World War II Germany is what I'm seeing. And that's what a lot of people are starting to see as well. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, Trump is now trying to distance himself from Project 2025 and push everybody over to Agenda 47.
I bet he came up with that. He came up with that name. Or whoever approaches him with stuff was like, yeah, this is stupid enough for him to like it. Yes.
Right. You can actually go on Wikipedia, and it's just it's like a Cliff's Notes version of, I'm aging myself there, Cliff's Notes version of Project 2025. Some of the stuff contradicts what's in Project 2025. Some of it's a flat out lie, but they actually put out, like Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a bullet point. It's literally 20 bullet points of how they're going to make America great again. Do
you know what else Marjorie Taylor Greene did recently that's just delightful in every way?
Her patriotic post. She tried
to she made a post about how like something with these signers and they were this whatever nonsense, some of the signers of the Declaration of the Independence, and almost every person she named did not sign the Declaration of Independence.
I know, she listed just all that. It was like all these names she must have just remembered in history class. And I
don't even give her that much.
How to Google.
She just typed in important historical Americans, and that is probably me giving her too much credit.
You probably could have asked your AI on your phone who signed the Declaration. You didn't have to use Google and could have found out this information. This is so stupid. There's a movie called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
A great movie. One of the best movies.
And I can't remember
the original show on BBC was good too.
Yes, that was good too. I can't believe you know that. But one of the guy's campaign slogans was "Don't vote for stupid." Yeah. And I honestly wish Joe Biden would just change his campaign slogan to "Don't vote for stupid," because that's what this is.
That said,
it's fascism and idiocracy all balled in together.
As the last reference to Hitchhiker's Guide this evening, I would definitely vote for Zaphod Beeblebrox without question.
That's the name. That's right. Okay, so let's get into some of these topics. First, we do have some in between the serious stuff. We do have, of course, some moments of levity, so we can laugh a little bit and cleanse the palate. But first, let's start off. This is a Midas Touch ad that they put out a while back to introduce our first episode. And pretty sure you'll get what we're getting into.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show. Everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stayed there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Yep, those are the files that just were released. We're not going to show it on the show because it's absolutely disgusting. However, the corporate media has been absolutely silent, barely a peep about this revelation, and that's actually really shocking to me because this is absolutely disgusting. Why?
I mean, this is the proof that
they're talking about Biden dropping out, but not saying shit about this. Like, come on, stop.
And this is the proof that the entire right wing has been waiting for these released names that would have condemned the Bidens and Obama and everyone, whatever. Mm-hmm. And whose name is on it? Donald Trump, their Lord and Savior, their own personal golden god. And no one's talking about the Epstein files on the right anymore. MAGA doesn't even know who Epstein is. Never heard of him. I never met him. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
But yet, if Joe Biden's like fourth cousin on his aunt's side, whose nephew lived with a cousin, and that person was on the Epstein files, Biden's entire campaign, they would have shut it down. There would have been a coup already. They would have marched on the White House, but nothing. The media, who, by the way, we just learned, not just learned, but it's been making its rounds on social media. Every single major news outlet and newspaper pretty much in this country is run by Republican donors to Donald Trump.
Yep, exactly.
It's almost like Hillary's emails all over again. We had a viewer mention that.
Now, while the media is ignoring it, social media is not. They are actually on Twitter. Let's look at some trends here on Twitter. So trends, the NATO summit, and then Trump and Epstein. That's trending. And then also, as far as hashtags go, Trump pedophiles.
What is portfolio day?
I don't know what that is. But
now I need to know. I'm going to look that up in the background. I got to know what that is.
That's even, the pedophiles. Okay, so I'm sorry. I got to stop saying that. Plus, to top it off, we also have these apparent messages that were left directly for Jeffrey Epstein. On the top right and the bottom left, those are Donald Trump calling, leaving messages in between appointments they are making for massages, apparently, with underage girls. But that's gross.
Again, so this is how dumb these, I'm going to call them upper class criminals, truly are. Everyone that was involved with Epstein knew that Epstein was a pimp, a trafficker of children. Okay? That's why they went to him. End of story. Right. But you're actually so dumb that you're going to sign that pimp's log. What do you think that's for? Eventually, that's coming out. And guess what? When you signed it, you don't get to go, no, that's my opponent's signature. That's not my signature. It's there, everyone. Yeah. It's there right in front of you, and no one's talking about it. Everyone's like, man, Joe Biden had a bad debate performance 2 weeks ago.
Right? He should drop out because of the debate.
He should drop out.
First of all, Donald Trump didn't say a single truth during the debate. And then all this stuff has come out. And nobody's saying that Donald Trump should drop it. This is insane. Well, some Democrats are saying that. But the other disgusting part of this whole Epstein file thing that I found most disturbing is the young girl that he alleged to have assault or not assault. I don't know what you want to call it, assaulted or raped or whatever. Looked like his daughter, who was also 13 at the time or 14 at the time. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. This is like the worst people on planet Earth, and they have just this huge following. So, but anyway, let's move on to some other stuff. Recently, Donald Trump Jr. made a comment about the Epstein files that did not age well. So we're going to play that real quick and then giggle about it a little bit afterwards.
We're never going to surrender. It's not our style, man. We don't. At this point, we got to fight, because congratulations. If you're in this room right now, you're probably on the FBI list. You're in with me, my father, my family, so you're in with good company. I am on every list except the Epstein list. We haven't heard anything about that one in a while.
Whoops. Open mouth and search foot.
As long as I'm not on the Epstein list, we're good, right?
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people if there's phony stuff in there because it's a lot of phony stuff in the whole world. But I think I would.
That's hilarious. JFK.
Wait.
Like he answered the other two immediate. JFK, yes. 9/11, yes. Epstein.
So wait a minute.
Well,
wait. So what he's saying is, think about this, right? He's because he's not intellectually capable of differentiating reality versus conspiracy theory.
No.
So he's immediately like, yes, I'm going to address these long believed conspiracy theories of 9/11, which we know how it happened, and JFK, which we know how it happened, but the Epstein files. Nah, that's not that important. Oh, and like a few weeks later, a month later, whose name appeared on it? See, the problem is Donald Trump knows when he's lying, which is shocking that he knows anything, but he knows when he's lying. And he also is very good, although he has a tell, he's an idiot, but he's very good at course correcting himself. And you could see in that full interview, and I really suggest people go watch that whole interview. You see him the way his cadence is, and he's like, yes. Well, no, maybe not. And his MAGA fan base that's used to his ramblings, not that they could pick up on it, but even if they would, they wouldn't care. Even if they could pick up on it. But the rest of us that have cognitive function left see how much of a ridiculous person he is as soon as it's like, well, I mean, what? I mean, I remember I signed those logs. Remember those logs you signed, buddy?
Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. Jesus Christ. So it's ridiculous how they're still defending him. I don't understand it. But let's go with the next video, which is Democratic Representative Ted Lieu, who put it all out. Like the Democrats are going hard in the paint ever since the Epstein files and the Project 2025 being fully exposed the way it should be. So Democrats are seizing the moment, and I'm actually kind of impressed. But this one's good. Let me play this real quick.
So like Chairman Aguilar said, we hear a lot from our constituents on different issues. But something I've heard that doesn't seem to be being covered are the Epstein files. These files were released, and like Donald Trump's sort of all over this, right? There are pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein. He's taken multiple plane flights with Epstein with young girls on board. He is on call logs with Epstein. One of the highest trending hashtags on Twitter right now is about Trump and Epstein. I'm not going to repeat the hashtag because we're in a dignified setting. But yeah, y'all might want to look at that because that's highly disturbing. And again, it shows that Donald Trump is unfit for office. And by the way, he was convicted in a civilian court for sexual assault, convicted in a separate court of 34 felonies. Donald Trump should drop out of the race.
But Joe Biden,
all they have to do.
See, the problem is Joe Biden had a bad debate.
Right.
Now, he had a bad debate.
Let's forget the rest of this.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Let's just forget the rest. Let's ignore everything else that's going on around Donald Trump and focus on Joe Biden's old, and he had a bad debate. Are you serious?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's be clear. Since the debate, since the debate, Joe Biden's been to like at least almost probably 20 by now different events in less than 2 weeks, including speaking at or addressing NATO for the 75th anniversary, including that, like leading us, representing us properly, like a real leader.
Like what the job of president is,
right?
The lead diplomat.
Yes. While diaper baby Trump has been hiding at Mar-a-Lago this entire time. He has not come out, and I believe he's holding an event, but I think it's at Mar-a-Lago or it's in Florida. I know that. So he's not going anywhere. He's not, you know what? When he was in court, all he bitched about is, I could be out there campaigning. Dude, you just skipped like 2 weeks in golf.
That's a good point. That's a great point. And, you know, it's funny because while I'm gonna segue for a moment just to get something in. While Donald Trump is not campaigning, not doing anything because he, as you said, Jeremy, I think he thinks he won the election. I think he thinks the debate was the end of the election. But while he's doing nothing, more Republicans are doing nothing. Just to be a brief shout out to everyone in Texas. Hopefully your power grid gets turned on soon. Hopefully you're safe. You have clean water because your governor fashions himself a fascist, just like Donald Trump. Well, he just ran away, didn't he? He left.
He left. He didn't actually run. I'm sorry.
Oh no, but
I'm sorry. That was low hanging fruit. I'm sorry. Not really, but I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
What I just came across actually before the show is this bit of interesting information. President Joe Biden himself called into the Houston Chronicle today saying he's been trying to track down the governor to get the necessary requests to release the federal aid, which includes manpower and supplies. Abbott, for some reason, is in Asia because for some reason, governors of states have any reason to go to other countries. It's weird. It's almost like the governor who has a state that exports a lot of oil should be talking to other places in America to get oil to Americans. What is Greg Abbott doing over in Asia?
Reminds you when Ted Cruz ran away that one time, and these guys are such. I don't get it. I don't get why anybody supports this. I don't. They do nothing for you. They do nothing for their constituents. If anything, they're making your life worse. And like in red states, if you're mad about how life is right now, blame the people that are running your state.
You elected them.
Like Joe Biden is trying to give you help. Joe Biden's like, I have aid for you. Where's your governor? You know what I'm saying? Like,
think about this. Think about this. If the Republicans had their way, the entire country would look like Texas right now. And specifically what I mean is that I just learned this the other day from a good friend of mine who is smarter than I will ever hope to be, and he explained it pretty well. We all know that Texas is not part of the national grid. I thought it was just because Texas was full of assholes. Not everyone, just has a lot of them. What's really going on is that Texas refuses to comply with any safety regulations, so the rest of the hookups in the country refuse to hook to them because their nonsense will destroy the entire grid. So while your governors are gallivanting when you need them the most, and your golden god isn't even campaigning, he can't even take the time to go to a rally so you could scream your little heads off and wear your little gold diapers and pretend you're meaningful in any way. He doesn't care about you. None of them care about you.
He's going to go into nothing but controlled environments. He's going to go, because I think he called in was it Hannity he called into, and he flubbed that one up. That was a mess up, complete disaster. And that was because he doesn't want to be questioned about the debate because he lied constantly, because he was fact checked right afterward. They should have fact checked him during. Project 2025, which we're going to talk about, has been exposed the way it should be. By some of the media, at least. Right-wing media is not covering it at all, obviously, because they're pushing this agenda. Media is part of Project 2025, controlling the media. They have their section of controlled media already. They just want to get rid of the rest of us. And the other, like MSNBC.
Hey, Ronald Reagan was the first domino in the destruction of our media. Our media used to be respected Or how about this? No one ever thought about the media because they just did their job. Journalists reported on news. Anchors reported news. Okay, no one told you how to think. If someone did something stupid, they reported on it. And then they stopped and moved on to the next story. Okay, but Ronald Reagan helped kill the fairness doctrine, and suddenly we have nothing left of our media except who's going to get the most money for ad revenue by trying to get people to believe whatever they can. It's all become reality television, just like now, right? When the Epstein thing happened, that's all the news was talking about. Epstein mysteriously died in prison. Oh my God, did Bill Clinton have him killed? Ooh, now a felon who is running for president, who tried to overthrow the government, who is a known rapist, a bigot, a racist, and just a dumb moron. His name is in the Epstein files. We have, again, for the third time I'll mention it, his name on records, and no one in the media is talking about it.
Not at all. Not at all. But we will. We will, because we think it's disgusting. And why are we even talking about, like, well, how is this even a discussion again? Like, how is the bar so high for Joe Biden? He can't make a single mistake without getting destroyed in the media. But this is okay? It should tell you where the corporate media's head's at. You know what I mean?
Well, I know where it's up.
Yeah, Trump's ass. Did I say that out loud? Did you catch that? I'm sorry. Anyway, all right. So we're going to get into Project 2025 now because, of course, now that it's exploded in Donald Trump's face, the one remark by the not founder, but the guy running the Heritage Foundation, Kevin Roberts, made a statement on War Room that I think is the one that's going to wake most people up to what's really going on. That and Taraji P. Henson, again, shout out to her for saying what she did on the BET Awards, because without her help, I don't think we would have as much awareness of this.
And there's a perfect example, right? You have what I guess we can call right-wing influencers. I don't know that Kid Rock is really an influencer, but I know Felicio Blow considers himself one. And I got to tell you, by the way, in my mind, that's his name. I don't even know what his real name is, but, you know,
it's Forgiato Blow, but we call him Felicio Blow. Honestly,
it's all right.
Sucks dick. It's awful. He just actually made a song called Trump Baby with Amber Rose. And Amber Rose is another B-lister who's not famous anymore and is hanging on.
But you see the power. This is the problem. Maybe it's for the wrong reasons that we listen to celebrities and musicians and athletes over scientists, teachers, doctors, right? But the fact is, we live in a world where that is the case. And you have people like, I'm sorry, people go like this, earmuffs, la, 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 Taylor Swift, who does what she can to get a message of democracy out. You have other people. We did a show on it where we saw a lot of celebrities,
celebrity influence is powerful.
Other people, and they're using their platform, their influence for good, to get the good word out. But then you have people on the other side that are doing everything they can to continue the lie, to grift off of you. And I don't even know, like, what does Amber Rose think her life is going to look like in a Republican-controlled world? She checks off like 15 boxes of concentration camp if you're a Republican. So I don't know.
We could get, that's a whole episode in itself that we should do. I think honestly, people don't know what's going on. They think Trump's a celebrity and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna support him. I don't think they really know what's going on, or they're not paying attention to what's going on anyway. Or like we always say, they're just trying to hang on to the last sliver of celebrity they possibly can get. That could be it too. Plus, I mean, these people are all grifters. You know what? Let's play this video now before we get into some of the serious stuff. I'm going to play this. This is an actual ad.
Oh no!
You're gonna die. Like seriously, I can't believe this is real.
This is not an SNL skit. This is not any.
I did not make this
thing. No, this
Truth Social. Truth Social. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
This $2 bill features President Trump's mugshot. Donald J. Trump makes history once again by becoming the first former president of the United States to ever be criminally indicted. The powers that be have made good on their threats to get him by indicting him 4 times. On Thursday, August 24th, 2023, President Trump was formally arraigned in Fulton County, Georgia, and this moment in history created the first mugshot of a United States president. In the photo, President Trump displays a furrowed brow and a determined gaze, showing he's ready to fight. He says he will never surrender. Whether or not you are a supporter of the 45th president, there's no doubting the historic importance of this photo. The mugshot seen round the world is front and center in the portrait oval, flanked by images of the flag and President Trump's famous signature. His inmate number is inscribed below the photo, and his declaration, "Never Surrender," is boldly presented on the bill. The final issue price was to be set at $39. However, during this special release, this full-color commemorative $2 bill can be yours for only $19.95.
Yeah. All right, so $20 for a fake $2 bill. These are the people that buy this. These are the same ones that took their Trump money to Target because they thought it was actual tender and they could redeem it for
Hillhound got it. Hillhound said it. I was gonna say it. That's his surrender picture.
It is exactly his surrender picture. He voluntarily surrendered. It's so stupid. But no, that's an actual ad. It's just like Grifter Central over there on True Social. Woo! All right, so before we get into Kevin Roberts, I want to play this clip by Jon Stewart because this is something that I think is something we should differentiate from moving forward.
If you want to love Trump, love him. Go to the rallies, buy the sneakers. You want to give him absolute power? You want him to be the leader uber alles? You want him to have the right of kings? You do you. But stop framing it as patriotism. Because the one thing you cannot say is that Donald Trump is following the tradition of the founders. He is advocating for complete and total presidential immunity. His words, not mine. That is monarchy shit. And it's your right to support it. But just do me a favor for historical accuracy. Next time you want to dress up at the rallies, wear the right colored coats. That's what you are.
Man, I posted this video on Instagram, and oh my God, you should see the comments. You should, actually, you know what? I think I actually have one of them.
I think you do.
I do. Leftist projection. Guaranteed this guy would vote for Michelle Obama, who has literally no qualifications to be president. And my response was, bruh.
Wait a minute.
Trump spent 4 years as president and still doesn't know how to do the job. Of course I'd vote for Michelle Obama over Trump. Duh.
You know what's funny? Like, so when someone says Michelle Obama doesn't have the qualifications to be president.
Are you kidding me?
Excuse me.
Are you kidding?
What I find funny about that, there are no qualifications laid out in the United States Constitution for president.
No.
That's why we tell people anyone could be president. The interesting part is that there are indeed qualifications that make people valuable in decision making and understanding things at a complex level. Donald Trump is the one that has literally zero qualifications to run a country and be America's #1 diplomat and do anything like that. Whereas Michelle Obama, at the very least, has an actual law degree and is someone who has a brain, deeply educated and deeply intelligent and can put a sentence together.
Of course I would vote for Michelle Obama over Donald Trump. Are you kidding me?
Well, no, you know why a lot of Republicans wouldn't vote for Michelle Obama? Because the running theory is that she's a man, and since they hate
that's right. They think
people,
they think she's Michael. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Michael Obama. that's an actual theory of theirs. This is not something we're making up. All right, so let's get into it. This is going to be the good stuff. Let's play first the statement that woke up the corporate media and pissed a lot of people off. And see, for me, I was not involved in this stuff, politics at all, before January 6th. that was the catalyst to make me wake up and go, what the hell is going on with my country? You know what I mean? My father served in the military. I served in the military. Like, what is coming of this country? I have to start learning this stuff. So I did. But I think this is going to be the next catalyst for a lot of people to start paying attention to what's really going on. So this is the statement. Kevin Roberts, the top dog over at the Heritage Foundation, on Steve Bannon, who's in prison, his War Room podcast.
In spite of all this nonsense from the left, we are going to win. We're in the process of taking this country back. No one in the audience should be despairing. No one should be discouraged. We ought to be really encouraged by what happened yesterday. And in spite of all of the injustice, which, of course, friends and audience of this show, of our friend Steve know, we are going to prevail. Let me speak about the radical left. You and I have both been parts of faculties and faculty senates and understand that the left has taken over our institutions. The reason that they are apoplectic right now, the reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Right on. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Not very nice. Not very smart. Not very smart. Threatening violence before you would. They're putting the cart before the horse.
And
like you actually have to get power first before you can. But the problem is, what people don't understand is Heritage Foundation's had their hands in almost every Republican presidency since the 80s. Okay, this is not new. As a matter of fact, the reason we have the red states in the state they are right now, the extreme Supreme Court, and all these federalist judges across the country is because they had a mandate for leadership for Donald Trump in 2015 for him to follow in his first term. This is not new, okay? This is just they learned from their mistakes last time. They got more extreme. And they know Donald Trump is not only dumb enough to follow this without reading it. You know damn well Donald Trump did not read a 900-page manifesto. You know he didn't. They're like, here, this is what we're going to do, Donald. We got a big plan for you. It's going to be great. He's like, yeah, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're shooting themselves in the foot with all this. They really are. They really are. And, of course, Donald Trump is immediately trying to distance himself now because of
Well, yeah, like he didn't know the Proud Boys. He didn't know this. Right. He didn't know that. Right.
But I don't even know who these people are.
I just find it amazing that they think that they are at the point where they can openly talk about this because, and they have said this is their last chance. They are playing all of their cards. They are telling you, right? We are in the middle of a revolution. This will be bloodless if the left lets us take over. I mean, they're telling you their manifesto is out there. They're already making rules that are condemning women to lives of being in prison because of having health care. Like, we're at a point where they are in the process. He said it. We are in the process of taking our country back. This isn't a plan anymore. This is in action. Jeremy has another video for you where they literally are talking about how this is going. We tried to take over the country. This is what we did to try. This is what we did wrong. This is what we learned from it. And this is what we're going to do moving forward. They are telling us. And the only job the media has done well is jumped on the 2025 coverage while they're still pretending that Joe Biden is falling asleep when he's walking 10 feet.
That's why, right? Like, how is Joe Biden?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how is Joe Biden's age more of an issue than this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But at least they're covering it. But this is the problem. They're not covering it in the context of Trump. They're just covering it as if it's something that they have to say because it happened on an award show and everyone's talking about it. But not enough of the media, and some are, but not enough of them are hammering home the point. We're going to look at what is Agenda 47, which is the new face of Project 2025.
Right.
It's a rebranding.
So in Trump's first term, they actually were able to, I had to look it up, but 64 to 67% of the policies they wanted Trump to put into place. He put into place, like, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, they learned. They even say it in the beginning of Project 2025. This is their last chance. They learned from their mistakes. They're going all in on this one, man.
Again,
So
they put it in writing.
They did.
Signed the
and
laws.
they put it out into
This
the
is our
world.
last chance. And you know what that means when you have religious extremists that think it is their last chance to do their God-given work. That's called cornering a mad dog. And they're telling you that they're already starting to advance on us. They're already doing it.
All right. So Trump is trying to distance himself, of course, now because everybody's like, yo, this is crazy. And people are starting to call it for what it is. This is a roadmap to turn us into Nazi Germany. Let's call it what it is. Okay.
The Third Reich.
It's not fascism. It's not a dictatorship. This is turning America into the next Reich. That's what it is. Okay. We don't have to sugarcoat it anymore. We've seen it all. It's all out there. So let me play this video that CNN put together of Donald Trump distancing himself and now turning to Agenda 47, which we'll go over because it's dumb as hell.
Donald Trump chose today to try to distance himself from Project 2025. That's the 900-plus page document from conservative advisors at the Heritage Foundation, which lays out some pretty aspirational goals to reshape the federal government and, frankly, American life if Trump were to win in November. Well, on Truth Social today, Trump wrote, "I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them." Several Trump allies, though, do have ties to Project 2025, including two of its authors, Dr. Ben Carson and Ken Cuccinelli. Mark Meadows and Stephen Miller are with groups on Project 2025's advisory board. Senior advisor Peter Navarro, who is, of course, in prison, is also listed as an advisor.
Just a coincidence. I don't know who's behind it. You know what, though? His base buys this shit. You know what I mean? Oh, you know, we're going to talk in the future about these Russian bot farms that they're finding that are trying to mess with the election on Twitter. That's another topic discussion altogether. But I want to show you how, like, these guys are, as soon as Donald Trump put out, oh, I have nothing to do with it, and this is Agenda 47. This is what these people comment on Instagram. This guy, BAMF,
this dude
_ captain. This guy's a nutcase. $100, and I will call into your podcast and publicly apologize. I hope this dude's paying attention because I want my $100 and admit if I was wrong. If, and that's a huge if, what you said comes true by the end of 2025. $5 says you won't even take the bet. Of course, my response is easiest money I ever made. like, yeah, all right. By the way, you owe me $5, so I'm taking your bet.
The delusion of these people. There is nothing you could show them. If there was a video of Donald Trump on Epstein's island, and it was verified, not that they believe facts or experts, but if there was an actual video and he was looking into the camera and said, "I am Donald Trump, and this is what I'm doing," they would be like, you know what? That's the most presidential thing I've ever seen. Like, they don't care about his depravity. They don't care about anything but themselves. And Donald Trump has always placated their desires to be selfish, to be victims, and for someone to just love them. They don't even care if it's true. They just want to be told, "I love you. I love you. I love the poorly educated." Yay! Right. Like,
so we're going to go over some videos that tie Donald Trump directly to the Heritage Foundation. And the question we have for, I don't know if it's I think it's the IRS would be the question, is how are they still allowed to be a 501(c), a political nonprofit? The political nonprofits are not supposed to be directly meddling in presidential campaigns. They can put out ads, they can do that stuff.
Yeah, well, churches aren't supposed to do that either, but
yeah, right. You know what I mean? If you start doing politics in your church, I'm sorry, tax exemption out the door. That's not what churches are for. Again, separation of church and state. For some reason, these people can't get the shit through their heads. So, all right. Totally lost my train of thought there. Oh, so Agenda 47. It's Marjorie. I got this off Marjorie Taylor Greene's True Social feed. So let's go over it because some of the stuff's a riot. And you can kind of tell, I think Trump wrote this because one, it's all in caps. And two, some of the stuff is actually insane, especially number 8, which is I'm going to die. I have trouble reading this stuff. Okay. Number 1, seal the border, stop the migrant invasion. they had the border bill and Donald Trump told them to turn it down. 2, deportation. 3, end inflation. Not stop, low it down, not make it go, just end it. Make America energy dominant. Number 4, we already are. We're producing more oil than any other country in the world. 5, stop outsourcing. Biden is already still like half of this list is stuff Biden has already done. You're gonna do stuff that has already been accomplished. It's so idiotic. All right, go back to number 6, large tax cuts for workers. That's bullshit. No tax on tips. That's also bullshit. It's just a tax cut for the rich.
Yep.
7, defend our Constitution. What? What? I don't know about that one. Okay. Number 8, my favorite. My favorite. Prevent World War III, restore peace in Europe and then the Middle East. Okay, good so far. And build a great
come on.
And build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country.
He still believes that's an actual Iron Dome.
I think he thinks it's an actual dome still over the whole country. First of all, the Iron Dome, for anybody that doesn't know, is Israel's short range missile defense system. So, like, we can't. It's not like an intercontinental ballistic.
Yeah, he doesn't understand anything.
So literally, he wants to put rockets on the borders of Canada and Mexico. Do we really want Donald Trump lobbing rockets?
Donald Trump would authorize using rockets on people trying
border.
to. Yeah.
It'd be insane. I forget what the last one is. Oh, and the weaponization of government against the American people. The only people that are going to jail are the people who participated in the insurrection. Back to migrants. And then part 2. Wait, there's more.
Oh, come on.
Build our cities. Strengthen and modernize our military, which is ridiculous. We already have the most powerful military in the world. 14, protect Social Security. That's a lie. Medicare, that's bullshit because they want to privatize Medicare. And no changes to retirement age. That's also bullshit because we have them on video, I think, already. Yep. They want to raise the retirement age to 70. And it goes on and on. Like, it's just dumb beyond dumb. Cancel electric vehicle mandate so they can pollute more and keep killing the environment. Cut education. Keep men out of women's sports. This bothers them so bad that one of their 20 bullet points is keep men out of women's sport. Like that.
Yeah, but so we could laugh about that, but listen to the language of it. They're not saying
it's an anti-trans thing.
No. I know. I'm just saying, but like it's fascinating to me the assumption of the anti-trans sentiment, right? They're not like keep trans women out of women's sports. They're already assuming what they believe is the truth, that it's an imposter situation. And guess what? Project 2025 addresses what they're going to do with stuff like that. The Republicans will tell you straight out of their mouth what they're going to do with people like that. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that will be round up. Maybe first, because that's going to make a lot of those monsters happy. And what way to do that but pick the low-hanging fruit, the most abused, targeted group of people in the world.
Yeah.
Let's go after them. But let's phrase it like we're just trying to protect women's sports.
Sorry.
Okay, because a lot of guys that are sucking down Bush Light, sitting on their pickup trucks and shooting crossbows and guns are like, got to go watch the WNBA finals.
I know, yeah, like, come on. You're not even, like, first of all, you don't care about the sport, so why are you, it's just...
It's disgusting. Just more bullshit.
Exactly. It's stupid. It's stupid. So we're not going to let Donald Trump separate himself, though, from Project 2025. No matter what you want to call it, it's too late because we have all the videos. And we have stuff like this. Here is Caroline Leavitt, Trump's press secretary, and Stephen Miller, Trump's, I don't know what you want to call this guy. He's just weird, but he's part of Trump's.
I have a bunch of words.
Those are videos on Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel, recruitment ads. And we're not involved. We're not involved. And then what else do we have? These are other people. All right, so we have Stephen Miller, Vaught, Mark Meadows, and Corrigan. Who else do we have on here that I don't even know some of these names. Anyway,
it doesn't matter.
Trump's,
the point is, everyone
he's all involved.
And again, it's not like this is shocking, because I know people don't want to understand this. Donald Trump didn't start any of this. Donald Trump is the puppet that they chose to make their play with. January 6th was their attempt, because they knew they could get someone that they could manipulate, right? Just like we know Russian briefings said, all you got to do to make Donald Trump do what you want is flatter him, wave a couple of bucks in front of him, and pat him on his little hiney and send him along to do your bidding. So they knew what they would get. Don't forget, Donald Trump, a lot of interviews in the 80s and 90s, talks about A, how he's a Democrat, B, how if he ran for president, it would be as a Republican, because the Republicans are the dumbest voter base. He has said that. That's an actual video. Okay. So all of this stuff going on, Project 2025, all of it, Donald Trump didn't start it. He's part of the mechanism of it. He's one of the tools. He's one of the attempts. Project 2025 and Donald Trump have the same people working for them, because it's all part of the same thing. It's all part of the same.
Project 2025 was written for Donald Trump. That's who they had in mind. They needed one, somebody with a following, and two, somebody that was ignorant enough to not even really pay attention to what's going on. Because I guarantee Donald Trump doesn't know what's in Project, like the real, what's really in Project 2025. Like, he's finding all this stuff out.
No, but he's not finding anything out. That's the thing. He's just reacting to what he is being told to react to. He couldn't tell you anything about anything.
So here's Kevin Roberts again. This is, I think, a couple years ago. This is a little bit ago. Them talking about how they started writing Project 2025 immediately after Donald Trump lost.
We've been working with all of them on one project since soon after Joe Biden took the oath of office, before any conservative presidential candidates had even entered the race. As my friend and colleague Paul Dans before talked about briefly, our Project 2025 has developed a comprehensive policy agenda, but even more importantly, recruiting people, 20,000 people to go into the next administration, hopefully to help take back this country for you and for your audiences. We want no credit. We want the American people, if President Trump is elected again, President Trump and his administration, to take credit for that. But it will also be a great sign, if all of this is successful, that in fact, as we know in our prayer time, but maybe not every time when we're watching the news, that the Lord is still smiling upon America.
Oh, they always got to do this bullshit religion thing. Why is Christianity? It seems like Christianity is the one religion that is forced upon most people.
Yep.
Like, can't we? It defeats the whole purpose. And then we have, what's that dipshit name? Josh Hawley recently caught on video saying that we should be a Christian nationalist.
He said
nation.
we are a Christian nationalist nation.
Yeah.
We are not, by the way. I don't know if Josh Hawley's read it, but I have read the Constitution. It's boring as hell, but it doesn't mention
it's
that
not
we're
that
a Christian
long.
country.
It's
also
not that long.
It's not that long. Also, incidentally, the word God does not exist in it. So
not once. Not once, man. Oh, these people drive me insane. All right, so let's tie Donald Trump even more to Project 2025. Here's Steve Bannon again on his show War Room. I hope he's having fun in the shower in prison. Let's just go with that. Let's play this video real quick.
Tell us what you're doing here. You two are now working together. These guys have come up with the plan that on the victory, the third victory, the second term, we hit the deck plates running, right? There's 4,000 appointees by a president, 4,000 to run the entire government. 1,000 of those, I think, have to be Senate confirmed. But 3,000 can start work day one. Walk through what you guys are doing.
What we're doing with Project 2025 is we're recruiting the MAGA America First Republicans right now so that we can take D.C. by storm in 2025. We're not going to go in like we did in 2017, where the establishment took over and co-opted much of the personnel of President Trump's administration. We're more prepared this time. We're recruiting grassroots conservatives, and we want all of you, if you want to serve in the next White House, next State Department, next Pentagon, we want you to sign up. Tell your sons, tell your daughters, tell all your friends. It's project2025.org.
I mean, come on. This Steve Bannon, by the way, is Trump's right-hand man. That's his homie. He doesn't do anything like what when Steve Bannon says something, those are Trump's words coming out of Steve
Oh
Bannon.
yeah.
I guarantee. I mean, there's no denying that.
What
whatsoever.
really scares me is the idea that they are planning on, and that's what Project 2025 is a manual on how they are going to go dismantle what they call the deep state. And it took a long time for people to even know what they really meant, because whenever you would interview a Trumper or any Republican, oh, the deep state, shh, you know what that is. No one knew what it was, and now we know what they mean. What they mean by the deep state are the boring ass accountants, the boring clerks, the lawyers, the people that just get a job in the government and clock in every day 9 to 5 and do their boring ass government job. They believe that's the deep state because they can't be influenced by a political movement or the influence of a president themselves, because they're just doing their job. You're not supposed to be influenced by the president or a political organization or a political party. They want loyalists. He said it. The guy said it. We want people in there day one that will be loyal to Donald Trump. These are the people that when anyone goes, hey, Justice Department, will you help us? They're like, oh, we didn't get your call. Sorry, we didn't take
and I'd like to point out that the number keeps going up. Like at first it was 5,000 people they needed. Then it
20,000 Americans they want to fire. And what did he say? Get your grandparents, get your kids, get your nephew, get anyone you can, and sign up. They don't even care if you could read, spell, or even drive.
No.
They want you to go somewhere, sign up so that a group of creepy ass people can vet you however they choose, and then offer you a job doing something in the government, just so in case Donald Trump says jump, you're like, okay, I'll jump.
Yeah, and just to show how crazy this is, and I'm just going to show this real quick because this is batshit nuts. And I got this off of fec.gov. Okay, this is not an altered picture. So I don't know why this hasn't been reported yet. So I'm not going to say, I mean, it's fec.gov for crying out loud, though. But according to this, and you can look up that filing, I may be wrong. I don't know how I am because I looked up like 3 times. This lists General Flynn as Donald Trump's VP. So we're going to supposedly find out in 4 days, something like that, who Donald Trump's VP is. So if it is Michael Flynn,
if it's Michael Flynn,
shit,
that's
insane.
That guy is a traitor. That guy is a traitor to the American people. He's a traitor to his position in the military. And I can't imagine there's anyone that has served or currently serves in the United States military in good faith and has sworn oath to the Constitution that wouldn't shit themselves and throw up if that guy was our vice president. Okay. And by the way, do you know why Donald Trump needs to announce his vice president? Because he tried to have his last one killed, or at the very least was all right if he got killed.
Yeah, he didn't have a problem with it, apparently.
But he also knows Mike Flynn is an extreme racist Christian nationalist. And if anyone's going to do whatever they can to screw up an election, it would be Mike Flynn.
I'll have to go back through our shows, but I'm pretty sure I have a video of Mike Flynn talking at one of these Turning Point USA rallies, these Christian nationalist roadshow things that they do, that the vaccine, the government was injecting trackers, is what it was, trackers underneath our skin via the COVID vaccine. Again, I'm not making this up. It sounds ridiculous. And nobody with a functioning brain would actually believe that. But this is the stuff a former general exactly in our military is going around the country saying. And if he's the VP, I'm going to laugh hysterically.
Yeah, but they don't think Kamala Harris can be VP. But Mike Flynn, apparently you just need to be a shitty general that no one cares about that's a traitor to their country, and that's all the qualifications you need. That and a failed businessman rapist.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, before we go on to the next video with the Heritage Foundation tying them to Trump, I do want to play this video. Their abortion plan is insane. Of course, it's across the board, no exceptions. And I want you to listen to some of this stuff some of these politicians are saying. The one video is from 2012 where the guy says, if it's truly a rape, the female body automatically reject it somehow.
Legitimate rape.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
It's
Legitimate
insane.
rape.
If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down. But let's assume that maybe that didn't work or something. You know, I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be in the rapist
that's not a thing.
and not attacking the child.
Representative, is rape the will of God?
Well, you know, if you read the Bible, there's actually a couple of circumstances where that happened, and the Lord uses all circumstances.
Yes, we absolutely make mistakes, but God does not make mistakes. And for some reason, even in some of these very horrific cases, there was a reason that God allowed that there to be a child out of that situation.
I mean, the challenge that Republicans have is that they actually do want to ban abortion at a national level. They do want to ban birth control. They do want to ban things like IVF. They actually just do.
Everything, man. Like, how does any woman support this? And can you? I'm sorry, but the one guy said rape is God's will. Do you really want these people making decisions on the female body? And I don't even like using that word on this show, but I mean, unfortunately, it's the subject matter.
I hate that we got to censor a legitimate word that has real impact on people's lives because of an algorithm. But hey.
But these people are trying to justify their position on rape, saying it's God's will. Okay.
I'm not going to go into the whole diatribe. I would like to. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to rise above that urge today. I'm going to say one thing. Spider-Man can shoot webs out of his wrists, but I don't make laws that affect women and their bodies and their health and their life and death based on Spider-Man comics.
I know.
That's all I'm going to say. That's it.
It's like, let's make all the laws based on Harry Potter.
Well, no, that's evil. That's very evil and wicked. Don't forget Satanic Panic. Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. All right. So, yeah, we're almost done with all the videos. We have a couple left that we definitely want to show you. This one is Donald Trump at a Heritage Foundation event. How do you know it's a Heritage Foundation event? Because it says Heritage Foundation in the background. And here's him praising and the way he praises Heritage, he praises them in the dumbest way possible. Listen to what he says. Just listen to this compliment. It's ridiculously stupid.
Your organization is named the Heritage Foundation because you understand that our glorious heritage is the foundation of everything.
Oh, come on.
Which is why we need the help of the Heritage Foundation and everyone here tonight to get our tax cuts through the House, through the Senate.
I forgot about that one. That's an actual Heritage Foundation video where they are shaking hands, him and Kevin Roberts, because he claimed he's never met the guy. He doesn't know who's behind it. I've never seen him, dude.
We call it Independence Day because we're independent and it's on a day. It's Independence Day.
It's just idiotic, man. Like, I want to bash my head on the table. It's so stupid. But makes for good content. Okay, so last but not least, I saved the best for last because this is classic. Okay, so their whole platform, since 2020 is saying that there's been massive voter fraud. Okay, Joe Biden won by 7 million votes. Well, apparently, when Heritage found, and we played parts of this interview before, but I didn't catch this until after last Tuesday. The Heritage Foundation apparently has been tracking voter fraud since 1982. And just listen to how many they've found in the last 42 years. And just either they're really, really bad at what they do, or Democrats are extremely good at covering up voter fraud, or the most likely scenario. There is no massive voter fraud. There's always going to be some, but listen to how many. Just listen.
Well, and a lot of it's from the right, by the way, proven.
42 years.
Is your organization going to accept the results of the 2024 election, regardless of the outcome?
Yes, if there isn't massive fraud like there was in 2020.
What does that mean?
If there isn't massive fraud.
Do you believe that there was not massive fraud?
There was massive fraud. We have an election fraud database that has documented that over years. By the way, the Heritage Foundation has been concerned about election integrity for decades, not just about 2020. We've been documenting this problem for a very long time. And if one of the
I believe, according to the Heritage Foundation, sir, by your count, Heritage Foundation has done an investigation, and according to your count, there have been 1,513 proven instances of voter fraud across the United States since 1982.
Yeah, that's probably
1,513.
hard to document. And the Democrat Party is very good at fraud.
Wait, if it's so hard to document, then you can't say you have proof that it's massive fraud.
Right,
You
that's
just
what I
said you don't have the
That's-
proof.
Exactly, like 1,513. Okay. I'm no mathematician, and I'm not the smartest person on the planet. However, I'm pretty sure 7 million. All right, let's assume all 1,513 fraudulent votes were in the 2020 election. I think Joe Biden still would have won. I'm not 100%. I'll have to check my math, but I'm pretty sure 7 million minus 1,513 doesn't really do shit. And if you can't find it, and these people are looking for it, like they're trying to find fraud. That's exactly what they do, and they can't find it themselves. Okay, this is why this is all bullshit. They just debunked the last 3.5 years of lies.
How many votes was it? How many instances?
1,513 over the last 42 years. It's you know what I mean? I think we're good. I think we can stop talking about voter fraud. But that's
wait a minute. That's 30 votes per state.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And you know what the best part of that is? The best part of that is I don't know what they use to document what is fraud or not, but we should probably do a show of all the fraudulent voting that went on by Republicans, some of them elected officials, since 2020.
I know. I bet you a lot of those numbers are from the last election, or but since the last election.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. They didn't break it down who's Republican and Democrat. That would be interesting numbers to look up if we can somehow figure that out. But no, they just debunked the entire it was stolen lie. There's massive voter fraud. Oh, they got immigrants coming across the border to vote.
But we can't prove it.
Oh, guys.
It's so hard to document. There is
but it's so hard to They're so good. These illegal immigrants who don't know shit about how our system works, okay? Maybe they don't even speak English.
I was just going to say, according to them, they don't even speak English.
It's so good at voter fraud that they can't find it. Damn. Wow. Really? Like, come on, man. It's just, it gets dumber and dumber. So I hope this is, like I said at the beginning of the show, that this is the catalyst that wakes everybody up to what's really going on. Because they are still a threat, even though this is complete idiocy across the board.
Yes.
All the people that are involved. Like Donald Trump just hired Billy McFarland.
Oh, yeah. Fire Festival guy.
The Fire Festival.
You know why
guy.
Specifically? He hired him
to get rappers. Donald Trump needs some rappers so he can appeal.
But he's got Fellatio Blow.
I know, yeah, he's got Fellatio Blow.
What more else do you need than Fellatio Blow? He is the most legit OG rapper ever.
Oh, and the only reason he exists is because of MAGA. This guy is not respected by anybody.
He's also the son of a rich guy. He's wealthy.
Yeah, the auto trader guy, I think it was.
Yeah, he just.
It's a joke. It's a
got
joke.
himself tatted up, got a grill, got a shitty MAGA chain, all with his daddy's money, and became a garbage rapper.
Got like 1776 tatted across his freaking forehead. What a loser. Anyway, that's all we have for tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, some laughs, but this stuff is very serious. The Project 2025 is a very serious threat. We have to, because this is insane. This is insane. Hopefully, in a few months, we'll be laughing, that this is in our rear view mirror, because this will be the end of the Republican Party as we know it, if they lose. But they're going to try and lie, cheat, and steal their way into
scrape, spit, piss.
Yeah,
whatever
like
they
I said
can do.
before, they're already finding, the Department of Justice is already finding Russian bot farms that are posting using AI on Twitter. They just busted one. It's going to be a thing. Watch. We should do a show on that too. The increase in pro, I don't know if you want to call it pro-Trump, anti-Biden content, just propaganda. That's all they do. So again, Russia's trying to take over America without even firing a shot. And they're just using Donald Trump. Again, Donald Trump's just a puppet for everybody, isn't he? Project 2025, Heritage Foundation.
But think about it. When you have someone that is so devoid of any true human depth, who only values the shallowest of materialism, who clings to power because of his deep fears and his deep insecurities, what do you expect? He's going to be manipulated by everyone because he's a frickin' mark. He thinks he's Barnum. He thinks he's Barnum and Bailey. He thinks he's a carnival great snake oil.
Yeah.
He's pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. He's the one being manipulated, and it's pathetic. And those who follow him and worship him, you're pathetic. Vote accordingly.
Yeah, well said. That's all we have for tonight. Please like and subscribe. Also, you want to talk about our Substack?
Yeah, we recently just dipped our toe into the written word. We only have like 1 or 2 articles up now. The Substack is the voice of reason for all.substack.com. We're going to try and put out some regular pieces where a bunch of us, our contributors, are going to start adding to that, and it's just another way for us to express our opinions. Sometimes things, you look into a camera and your words don't come out, but you put your fingers on a keyboard.
That's true.
Got something to say.
I was actually going to say that sometimes for some people, making videos on your own is awkward. Like even for me, like I make videos all the time, but it's still weird to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm having difficulty with that, but man, just let me write my opinion and I could do that all day. So
that's fine as long as the message gets out. That's all that matters. Also, if you guys want to help us improve the quality of the show and help us increase our reach, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of this video as well, along with all of our social media information. So please, again, like, subscribe, help us amplify our message. Share this video on other platforms like Threads, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook. We'd really appreciate it. Other than that, we hope you enjoyed the show. Have a good night, and we'll be back. We're taking this weekend off, so we'll be back next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support, by the way. We've been having a lot of fun so far, and we will continue. Have a good night.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a man to test the will and goodness of a free people. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man who failed in everything but theft and broken promises to live in a golden palace and convince the poor he serves their needs. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a wicked man to lead the common folk with hatred and fear. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a corrupt man who is above the law and immune from justice. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man who will use violence to seize power. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man whose followers will call black white, call evil good, and call criminals hostages. So God made a dictator. God said, I need his political party to obey without question, and the press fear his wrath. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a cruel man who uses his power and position to punish and harm his opposition. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man who breaks the faith of even his most godly followers and leads them to idolatry, place him above me. So God made a dictator. And then God said, I sent this man to test you, and until you cast him down, you have failed. So God made a dictator.